Hello, hello. Welcome to lesson number 2, Revelation chapter 18. Why is it so important for us not to take the mark of the beast? Well, we're going to be talking about that. Now, this clip is like 5 years old or so, but it's still relevant today. Now, here's the thing is that we want to watch the first 6 lessons in order because they build on top of each other. And you're going to see there's a lot of discoveries, a lot of insights. And so enjoy and God bless. Make sure that you like and also make a comment. That's going to help get this more exposure out there. We want everybody to see this. So thank you and God bless. Have a great day. Hello, you wonderful sons and daughters of God and my brothers and sisters. Great to have you here. This is an exciting clip. It's clip number 2. We're going to be talking about Revelation chapter 18, 13, and a few verses from Revelation chapter 14. Now, it picks up where we left off with the first clip. That's Revelation chapter 17. And what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about the destruction of this city that reigns over the kings of the earth. So if you missed the first clip, just a short catch up, John saw that there was a beast that has 7 heads and 10 horns. And there's a woman that rides on the beast. And we read in Revelation chapter 17, verse 18, that the woman represents a city that reigns over the kings of the earth. Now that city could be around today, but it's not at the time when it's reigning over the kings of the earth, obviously. That is in the future still. And one of the things that we want to take a look at is what country are we living in? Is that country going to accept the mark of the beast? If so, do I really want to be living in that country? So let's go ahead and kind of go through these chapters here, Revelation chapter 18 and then 13 and then a few verses from 14. So you can see how you feel about where you live and if you're going to want to be participating with this mark of the beast system. Now, in Revelation chapter 17, we learned that the beast that has 7 heads, those 7 heads represent 2 things. One is that they represent 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth, and then they also represent 7 kings. And we read that 5 are fallen, 1 is, and the other one, it comes, must continue a short space. And then we learned that there's an 8th king, and the 8th king, it represents the whole image of the beast. And we learned that the 8th king gets the power, seat, and authority of Satan and goes to fight against Christ when Christ returns in power and glory. So this is a really bad guy right here. Well, in Revelation chapter 17, we learned that the 10 horns, that they represent 10 kings that give their power to the 8th king, and they go and destroy that monetary system, that city, and that reigns over the kings of the earth. So now we're going to pick it up in Revelation chapter 18 and go from there. So in Revelation chapter 18, in verse 1, we read, "And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven, saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sin, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth, who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, shall bewail her and lament for her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more, the merchandise of gold and of silver and precious stone and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all fine wood and all manner vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men, and the fruits that thy soul lusteth after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. And the merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city, that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the company in the ship and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, O thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God hath avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee. And no craftsman, or whatever craft he be, shall be found any more in thee. And let me go ahead and get that over there. Get this. All right, here we go. And shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee, and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, For by their sorceries were all nations deceived, and in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and all who were slain upon the earth. Well, we can see that John was trying to get across to us that all buying and selling stops when that evil city is destroyed, that evil monetary system is destroyed. And so what we want to do now is that, and obviously the blood of the prophets and the saints are in there, and so God is telling us, get out of there, you don't want to be part of this. Well, now what we want to do is we want to go over to Revelation chapter 13. And over in Revelation chapter 13, it's going to be talking about where John first sees the beast that has 7 heads and 10 horns. And he's going to find that that one of the 7 heads, is in power at the time when that monetary system is set up. And we're going to be looking at to see a little bit more information about that. And let me go ahead, I'm just going to go ahead and turn something off here real quick before it goes off on its own. All right, here we go. Revelation chapter 13, verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horn 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So in the first clip, we had used these 2 verses to find out that Satan gives the 8th king Satan's power, seat, and authority. And so this is one evil dude here. But what we're looking at is that this is the whole image of the beast at this time. And let's go ahead and continue on with verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wandered after the beast. So it's during the time that one of the 7 kings has a deadly wound and yet is healed, and that king is the king in which it's referring to at this time, that all the world is going to wander after this beast here. And they worship the dragon which gave unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and them that dwelt there in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds, tongues, and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. So there are going to be people who accept Christ, and they're not going to accept the mark of the beast. They're not going to accept it. This is fantastic news. And then look at this here in verse 9. If any man hath an ear, let him hear. I hear loud and clear. This evil monetary system is going to be set up. All the world is going to be worshiping this system, this monetary system, and we're not supposed to be part of it. I want my name written in the book. I don't want to be part of this evil monetary system. And so now look at verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So one of the things that we're going to be connecting the dots to is that I have found that there's going to be many people that can have a bright future. And I want you, your loved ones, to be part of that group. So I want to share this insight with you so you can connect the dots. You can prayerfully work with God so that you can be among those who don't have to go to battle, who don't have to be in a place where the mark of the beast is accepted and have to go through all the punishment for not accepting the mark of the beast. So now let's go ahead and go with verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and cometh and causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they, the people that dwell on the earth, should make an image to the beast, which had the dead wound by a sword, and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So this monetary system is something that these 2 kings convinced the rest of the world, you gotta build this monetary system in honor to this one king who had a deadly wound and yet lived, and we're going to give him the power over that, and we're going to have the mark in our hand or in the forehead or the number so that we can buy and sell. And if you don't have it, then you're going to have to be punished, and that can mean death. So you really do want to be part of this. But he convinces the world that this is such a great idea that the world goes along with it and says, yeah, we got to do it. All right. So now let's go ahead and just wrap it up with a few verses from Revelation chapter 14. In Revelation chapter 14, right over here, we're going to verse 8. And it says, and there followed another angel, saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So now we got to decide, do we want to accept the mark of the beast? And if we don't want to receive the mark of the beast, we got to decide, what can we do about it? And there's a lot that we can do about it, and that is what gets so exciting. And in the next clip, it's huge, it's so important. We get into Daniel chapter 11. In Daniel chapter 11, it talks about a lot of kings, but within the many kings, is a succession of 8 kings. And what we're going to be looking for is we're going to be looking for clues as to which of those 8 kings looks to be the king that has that evil monetary system set up in it. This is exciting. And there's a lot more information that we get out of Daniel chapter 11. It is by far the greatest chapter out of all the Bible for a foundation for understanding the general order of the prophetic events leading up to the return of Christ in power and glory. No other chapter covers such a vast amount of time without any major time gaps, with as much detail, and it is just fantastic. So I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next clip. This is going to get so much more exciting because of the insights that we're going to take from Revelation chapter 17, 18, 13, 14. We're going to be taking bits and pieces and clues out of them, and we're going to be looking to get more insights as we go along. And so I look forward to seeing you over on the next clip. God bless. Please like, comment, and share. Thank you.